Okay, so this is Matt Rhodes for Derbyshire Media Company and Outside the 92. And I'm joined tonight by one of Matlock Town's new signings, Callum Chippendale. Callum, how are you today?
Yes, I'm very good, Matthew. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm fully back into football now. We've got our first goal line controversy, so yeah, I'm well.
But within the first 5 minutes there.
Yeah. So I think for a lot of, well, not everyone, but a lot of Matlock fans will already have a good idea of who you are and probably will have already seen you play as well. So you've joined Matlock from what most people would say are their main rivals, Buxton. So first of all, sort of what attracted you to Matlock? Was it a tough decision to go from one club where you've been for quite a while and was the captain for, to then go to what many people would say are their main rivals? Was it a tough decision?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've had a really good time at Buxton. I've been there for just over 2 years, and yeah, I loved my time at the club. I can't say anything bad about the place, really. I mean, it's got a great chairman there, and obviously I had Philo as a manager, and whilst they were there,
yeah,
my football. But as a lot of people know, probably it's not the first club I've been with Philo. So when he came here, obviously I know about the club because it's got a big online presence. So you see them quite a bit on Twitter. And obviously I've played against Matlock quite a few times, and obviously with it being derbies as well, it's been a really good crowd and it's been a really good atmosphere. So it's always been a team that I've enjoyed going to play against, really. So that along with Philo joining, I thought, yeah, if it could be, obviously with what Philo was telling me as well, I think, yeah, it seemed like a really good idea. So I was very eager to sign.
Yeah, and what does the season ahead look like for Matlock Town? Because there's been a lot of interesting developments. You'd think things would be really quiet since sort of like the lockdown started, but Matlock have got a new chairman, and also from out of nowhere, genuine interest from overseas, from the United States, with Rob Malloy coming in as a vice president, who's said to me as well before in an interview that he's looking to get involved financially as well. Do you think you're joining Matlock at a really intriguing time for them as a club?
Yeah, I think it's exciting times ahead, definitely. I mean, like you say, the club's getting a lot of interest from overseas, and Rob Malloy, from what I've heard, I've not personally spoke to him, but it looks like he's got really good intentions for the club. And I know certainly the manager does. I've spoken to him, I've spoken to Brian, spoken to Aldi, all his staff, and look, the club only wants to go one way. We're not here to finish mid-table and just have a season, have a few memorable games. I mean, we want to be up there challenging for the league and for the playoffs. I mean, that's what we're here for, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, because obviously for Matlock Town fans, they've still not actually seen that much of a Matlock team under Paul Phillips and also under Dave Wild as well. Because obviously once things were beginning to get going, obviously the season had to be stopped. They've not really actually seen much of Matlock under Paul Phillips. And obviously you've had plenty of experience with him. What does Paul Phillips bring to a club? Like what is his main strengths as a manager?
I mean, I think it's getting the mentality in the dressing room that it's win at all costs. I mean, you can't expect to play well every game, and that's where you get up the league, really. It's when you're not playing well, it's picking up 3 points, and that's what pushes you up the table. I mean, we'll be a very hard working side. You'll have quality. We'll be going to score goals, but at the same time, we won't let many in. So we'll play some exciting football, and we'll be a very, very tough team to beat. Well, that's why it's always been on Philo whilst I've been with him, and it's been a while now. So I think the Matlock fans have definitely got something to look forward to. They're going to have a very hard-working team with from what I've seen from lads that have been to the training sessions, a lot of quality.
Yeah, just speaking about the training sessions, because I know obviously it's still not completely normal circumstances, because obviously there still has to be social distancing put in place. But what has the first couple of training sessions been like with Matlock? What's the sort of atmosphere like, and have you been impressed by what you've seen?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been a bit weird because, like you say, it's all socially distanced, so it's been a bit like more technical side of things, and obviously with a bit of running just to have a bit of a blowout. But I know quite a few of the lads are there, like who have sorted things out, who haven't sorted things out, and I think the club's attracting really good players, and that's who I know of. So, like I say, I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Yeah, and just for people that might not be as familiar with you, if they've not seen you before playing for Buxton, and you're a new name to them, what are your main attributes on the pitch, and what can they expect from a Matlock Town team that's got you in it?
I'd say I'm a box-to-box midfielder. I like to get up and down. I'd like to get up with the forwards and obviously help out in that aspect. I look to score goals from midfield, get forward plenty, but obviously at the same time, I know I've got a role to do defensively. So, yeah, I'd say I'm more of an attacking midfielder than a defensive. And, yeah, I'm looking to bring goals to the team and obviously create a good, strong midfield, which will hopefully dominate games.
Yeah, I think a lot of Matlock fans will be pleased to hear that because, I mean, I've only been sort of working with them since last August. The start of last season, and it was clear quite early on that goal scoring was an issue for the club. It was quite heavily reliant on Marcus Marshall, who's now gone himself. He's gone to Basford United. So, yeah, they'll be pleased to know that they're getting a midfielder who's got a keen eye for goal.
Yeah, I like getting box, let's put it that way.
Yeah. And what's it been like training during the lockdowns? Obviously, when all the world events, obviously with coronavirus started, you were still at Buxton at the time, but what's it been like as a player trying to train during like a proper lockdown? How hard is it? And also, how hard is it to prepare for a season when you still don't actually know when exactly it's going to start yet?
I'll be honest, I think it's very tough. I mean, I think different lads will have different views on it really, but personally I find it quite hard just because if you have a date to be fit for, or you have a deadline, it's something to work towards. Whereas at the moment, it's just ticking over more than anything, just waiting for a date to be announced, and then you can really get into it. Whereas at the moment, I think you're kind of guessing, and you don't want to peak too early, and you need to have. Well, obviously, we've had a long rest as it is, but you don't want to peak too early and go too full. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, I think it's just ticking over, and like I say, I'm just waiting on hearing a date for the league to start or when we're going to be back in for pre-season. But till then, like I say, just ticking over really. Well, it's just hard. I do find it hard.
Yeah. Do you think? Because it's a weird situation. Because it's like, I mean, I've just been watching a Premier League match. We know that like the Championship's going to start in about a week, 10 days. League One and League Two aren't continuing, but they know what the situation is. I've just heard that Barrow are now promoted to the Football League. But for everything from the league that Matlock Town are in and from like Northern Premier League below, no one really seems to still know what exactly is happening. Do you think that a lot of non-leaguers sort of been left to fend for itself quite a bit?
Yeah, I think it's been a bit of we're down pecking order, aren't we? So I think it's been the priorities get the Premier League Championship sorted, and then obviously League 1, 2, and then I think it's a bit like well, do what you want, but like non-league clubs can't be playing games behind closed doors, and like as lads we don't really want to be playing games behind closed doors. A big part of non-league is you go play a game, fans are out there whether they're with you or against you, and then you're in bar after having a beer with them after a game. So. Yeah. It certainly wouldn't be the same, and I can't see it starting without fans in non-league.
Yeah, and well, as I was saying to you before the interview started, judging from what I've just seen in the Premier League, at least non-league doesn't have to go through any goal line controversies or anything like that. So
we have a lot of others though with some decisions at times, but yeah, at least it's nothing like that.
Yeah. And just finally, really, just for the Matlock fans listening to this audio. Just what, looking at the season ahead, obviously we don't know when it's still going to start yet, but what is your long-term goal with Matlock? What you're looking to achieve from the season coming? What can they expect?
I mean, this year, the absolute very minimum is playoffs. I mean, I know when I've spoken to Phil O'Brien, Dave Wild, and we're not here just to have a season where we'll finish top half and it's a good season. But we don't see that as a success. We see very minimum playoffs as a success. We want to be one of the toughest teams in the league. We want to bring success to Matlock as a football club. Like, as I've read and obviously as I've spoke to people, it's been mid-table and a bit stale for a while from what I've heard. So we're looking to bring some life to the club and just get the whole of Matlock Town behind us, really, and have a team that they can get behind, and hopefully we can provide the results for them.
Cool. I'm sure Matlock Town fans will be happy to hear that. I think I'm right in saying the highest they've finished over the past 5 years is 14th, which is, it's pretty mediocre.
Last year when involved in the team, which Bucks and we finished obviously lower down in the table, and it's just a total different experience in a dressing room and everything when you're one end of the table or the other. And I know where I want to be, and I know where the team around me, such as the manager and the other players who I know are there, I know exactly where they want to be, and everyone's going to be in the same spot. I mean, it's going to be a tough league this year. You've seen some signings that some teams have made, some very good teams in the league. So we're under no illusions that it's going to be a walk in the park. It's a very tough league, but that's why we've got to assemble a good squad and give it us all, really. I mean, attitude's a massive thing in non-league.
Okay. Cheers for that, Callum. Thanks for your time with that. All I can say is keep training hard, and hopefully we'll all be seeing you play on the pitch really soon. Thanks for your time, Callum.
Yeah, definitely. The sooner the better.
All right. Thank you.